Spencer Lee for the Hawkeyes, continuing where he picked off a year ago. And Justin Cardani, a redshirt sophomore out of Centennial High School. He's local from Champaign, Illinois. And Jim, when you look at Cardani, he's made some big steps.
Yeah, Cardani has made some big steps, a guy that they expected to get some results from. But, you know, it's such a tough matchup going against national champion Spencer Lee. And the big improvement that he's had in his game, Shane, has been not just going for the tilts, but actually putting those shoulders on the mat. He's getting it done every match.
Spencer Lee is today's State Farm State of Success. So dominant. Lee this season, 2-0, a pair of pins. He's outscored his opponents 20-0. This, of course, following last season when he outscored his opponents 234-18.
Yeah, that pretty much explains it. But it's a tough battle here for Cardani, but he's got to go out there and you know, this is, we really didn't have it mentioned very much. This Illinois team is off to a nice start. They're 4-0 on the season. They've got a lot of reasons to be optimistic, and here's Spencer Lee coming out. As you mentioned, he's not allowed a point this season. And the big difference in his wrestling is he's just really, you know, since getting that Hodge Trophy, it looks like he's trying to make a huge run to go ahead and repeat as the Hodge Trophy winner. And to do that, you've got to put shoulders on the mat, and that's exactly what he's done.
You've been around this sport a long time, Jim. Anytime I mention Spencer Lee, you mention Mean Gene Mills, the comparisons between those two.
Yeah, I just, you know, obviously Spencer Lee is a talent extraordinaire, but you take a look at a guy like Mean Gene Mills, wrestled from Syracuse, was a national champion back in 1979, and outstanding wrestler in 81. Did a lot of this type of stuff here. The things that you saw, that you still see in wrestling, were things that Mills kind of brought into the sport. Had 107 pins. That number's been disputed by a few people, including Wade Chalice, who's had, I think, 106 pins. You know, so it goes back and forth with those guys. The records weren't that great back then, but from the top position, as far as lightweights go, that's the best comparison I can make. Is that he wrestles with those tilts a lot like Mills, and actually goes for the fall like Mills did. Mills could put up points from the top position, just like Lee. Don't recall Spencer wearing that knee brace last weekend in the win against McKee. And with that effort against the Gopher last week, once again, Big Ten Wrestler of the Week honors for Spencer Lee out of Murraysville, Pennsylvania, Franklin Regional High School, where he was a 3-time state champion. And as is the case once again with Lee, Jim, wasting no time, he gets to the legs, he finishes, goes into a tilt 4-0 just like that. Yeah, see how he gets comfortable in the top positions, but he reaches over the top to try to capture those wrists. And Cardani has done a fine job to this point, just, you know, just holding position and not getting his wrist caught up close to his waist where Lee can pick him up and bar him up. He gave up that one bar arm off the takedown, and so a little harder. You know, guys probably don't get enough credit from the bottom position for competing as they do just holding position, because Lee is just, he's just in another league in that top position, and it's just amazing to watch him wrestle. But you can see how it comes all the way back to the wrist to grab that bar arm right there, and see where Cardani has got that tied his own wrist up right there. Now he's going to go ahead and try to run the bar arm. This is where he's been really good this season. And he goes right over the top. We've seen that this season. Yeah, he goes right over top. A lot like you see the Ness brothers from Minnesota used to do. They used to get that bar arm, particularly Jason Ness, half Nelson, and just go right up over the top with it. And that's what he's working hard for right now. Coming hard right there with that half Nelson. Comes over to the side, and this is tight, but you can just see Cardani's still a tough guy. Can he battle it out there? He did. Folks, that's tough to do. Yes, it is. We joked about it last year, Jim. Jack Medley from Michigan went the full 7 minutes, and you and I argued that garnered Big Ten Wrestler of the Week honors. Oh, having some fun with it, but how you know, you could say that without joking, really. Now Lee on top, and this is where he's really good, getting the head off the mat. Quick fall right there. Spencer Lee with the 24th pin of his career, and in Big Ten duels, he improves to 25-0 as a Hawkeye. Impressive. It really is. I mean, you know, not just settling for the tilt. And look at the job that he does readjusting. Okay, he's working for that tilt, but he comes off of it and gets right back to that bar arm position, settles back, circles around the head, and then tries to get the head up off the mat. Once you do that, the shoulders are all that's left.